There was a man who spent his entire life running late. Not for meetings, not for trains, not for appointments. He was late for his own life. He woke up every morning with the same thought. I should be further ahead by now. He thought it while brushing his teeth. He thought it while driving to work. He thought it while scrolling through his phone. He thought it before going to sleep. I should be further ahead by now. He was 34 years old, too old to be where he was, too young to have accomplished what he wanted. At least that is what he told himself. And eventually, after repeating something enough times, it stops feeling like a thought. It begins to feel like a fact. One evening, while walking home, he took a route he had never taken before. It led him through an old garden in the middle of the city. There was a bench there, and on the bench sat an old man. The old man was holding two watches. One was working, the other was broken. The younger man sat beside him. For several minutes they said nothing. Then the old man asked a question. "What time is it?" The younger man looked at his wrist. 6:42. The old man smiled. No. The younger man looked confused. The old man held up the broken watch. "What time is it?" The younger man laughed. "It doesn't work." The old man nodded. Then he pointed at the younger man's chest. "Neither does that one." The younger man frowned. "I don't understand." The old man nodded. "Most people don't." Then he asked another question. "How often do you tell yourself you are behind?" The younger man looked surprised. "Every day." The old man smiled sadly. "I thought so." The younger man became uncomfortable because he had not said that aloud. The old man continued, "Tell me, who decided where you should be?" The younger man opened his mouth, then stopped. The old man waited. Eventually the younger man answered, "I don't know." The old man nodded. "That is usually the answer." Then he continued, "Somewhere along the way, somebody handed you a clock, and ever since then you have been measuring your life against it." The younger man stared at him. The old man continued, "You think 34 means something. You think 25 means something. You think 40 means something. But these numbers only have the meaning you assign to them." The younger man was quiet, because immediately his mind began producing examples. His classmates, his friends, his old colleagues, people who were married, people who had children, people who owned homes, people who were more successful, people who seemed happier. The old man nodded. "You are doing it right now." The younger man looked up. The old man smiled. "You are opening old photographs in your mind." The younger man laughed nervously, because he was. The old man leaned back. "Tell me, if everyone else's life disappeared tomorrow, if there were no social media, no classmates, no old friends to compare yourself to, no timelines to follow, would you still believe you are behind?" The younger man immediately answered, "No." Then he stopped, because he had answered too quickly. The old man smiled. "Exactly." Then he said something extraordinary. "You are not behind. You are comparing journeys that were never supposed to be compared." The younger man looked down. The old man continued, "If one tree grows faster than another, is the second tree failing? No. If one flower blooms in May and another blooms in September, is September wrong? No. Then why do humans insist on treating life like a race?" The younger man sat in silence, because he had never thought about it that way. Then he asked, "If that is true, why do I always feel this pressure?" The old man nodded. "Because there are two clocks." The younger man frowned. "Two." The old man held up the working watch. "This one is useful. It measures appointments, meetings, schedules. The world needs this clock." Then he held up the broken one. "This one is dangerous. This is the clock that whispers." The younger man leaned forward. The old man continued, "This clock says, you should have started earlier. You should have achieved more. You should already know what you are doing. You should be somewhere else." The old man paused. "This clock is broken." but millions of people obey it every day. The younger man stared at him, because he suddenly understood something. He was exhausted, not because life was hard. Life was hard, but that wasn't the entire reason. He was exhausted because he was running, constantly, even when he was standing still, always chasing an imaginary version of himself, the version that had figured everything out, the version that was finally ahead. The old man smiled. Then he said, "Do you know the strange thing?" The younger man shook his head. "The finish line moves." The younger man laughed, then stopped, because he knew it was true. The old man continued, "When you earn more money, the finish line moves. When you lose weight, the finish line moves. When you get promoted, the finish line moves. When you buy the house, the finish line moves." Then he said something beautiful. People spend their entire lives chasing a horizon. They never stop to notice that horizons cannot be reached. The younger man sat quietly. Then he whispered, "So what do I do?" The old man smiled. "Walk." The younger man frowned. "What?" "Walk, not run." The younger man was confused. The old man pointed toward the path in front of them. When people believe they are behind, they stop living. They start sprinting. They rush through breakfast. They rush through conversations. They rush through vacations. They rush through weekends. They rush through entire years. They become so obsessed with arriving that they stop experiencing. The younger man stared at the ground, because suddenly he could see it. He had rushed through everything, even moments he had waited years to experience. The old man continued, "The cruelest part, the place you are trying to arrive at, does not exist." The younger man looked up. The old man nodded. "There is no day when life finally begins. There is no moment when you become enough. There is no morning where every problem disappears. Life is happening now." The younger man became very quiet. Then he asked, "When did everyone become so afraid of being behind?" The old man smiled. "When people stopped looking inward." The younger man frowned. The old man continued, "Humans were never built to compare themselves with thousands of people every day. But now they do. They compare careers, bodies, houses, relationships, holidays, achievements, every single day." Then he smiled, and then they wonder why they feel exhausted. The younger man laughed, then sighed, then laughed again, because it suddenly sounded absurd. The old man nodded. "Exactly." Then he said something he would never forget. "You are carrying a race that nobody asked you to run." The younger man's eyes widened. The old man continued, "And the strangest part, everyone else is carrying the same race." He pointed toward the city. "Look." The younger man looked. People were everywhere, walking, driving, talking, rushing. The old man smiled. Most of them believe they are behind too. The younger man sat there for a long time. Then he said, "That's sad." The old man nodded. "It is." Then he smiled. "But it is also beautiful." The younger man looked confused. The old man continued, "Because if everybody is secretly struggling with the same thing, you are not alone." The younger man smiled. The old man leaned forward. Then he said something quietly. "Your life is not late. It is simply yours." The younger man's eyes began to water. Not because he was sad, because something inside him was finally relaxing. For years he had been running, and suddenly, for the first time in a very long time, he felt permission to stop. Months passed. His life did not become easier. That is not how life works. His problems remained. His responsibilities remained. His goals remained. But one thing disappeared: the race. He stopped checking where everyone else was. He stopped measuring himself against strangers. He stopped asking whether he was behind. And an extraordinary thing happened. He became present. Breakfast became breakfast. Walks became walks. Conversations became conversations. His life stopped being a bridge toward another life. It simply became his life. 1 year later, he returned to the garden. The old man was there, still holding the 2 watches. The younger man sat down beside him. Then he smiled. "I'm not late anymore." The old man smiled too. "No." Then he held up the broken watch. "What time is it?" The younger man smiled. Then he answered, "It doesn't matter." The old man laughed, then nodded, because he knew. The race was over, and perhaps this story leaves you with one question that might change the way you wake up tomorrow morning. Whose timeline are you trying so desperately to keep up with? Because maybe, just maybe, you are not behind. Maybe you are simply exhausted from carrying a clock that was never yours to begin with. And perhaps tonight, for the first time in years, you can finally set it down.